Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 12, the beginning of a brand new season here at NXTGEN. We're kicking things off with the Group A Tourers here at Brands Hatch Indy. And boy are we in for a cracking season. We have a completely full lobby here for the first race of the season. Multiple different cars available. There's Whitfield in a Ford Sierra. There's Jamie FL30 coming back to Torres as he goes wide at Paddock Hill. Surge in his Audi. Cam in the Mercedes. Doesn't look like anyone's decided to pick the BMW this season. And I'm not going to be honest. There, not a surprise. But let's have a look at the group of people who'll be trying to entertain you tonight. The champion and defending his title for Season 12 is NGR Omega 1984. Joined us in the pre-season notebook. Here in his Audi. Currently sat in provisional pole with a 48.6, so a good start to his campaign so far. Slider Gas 28 in the Audi. Currently sat in second with a 48.9. There's NGR Fraser in the Nissan. RS Jim's 77 in a Nissan in the Carsonic one. Jack TM53 Synopsis in 5th there. Cam123 D is returning in his Mercedes in 6th. Whitford in the Sierra Cosmos. Shockshaft in the Audi. Royston in the Audi. Envoy Extreme in the Audi. There's Jamie FL30 going for another spin, this time at Clark Curve in his Nissan. Someone's gone rocketing up the order. Don't know who it is. It's not Minga, there's Fraser, Jack, Shockshaft, Whitford. There's Royston. There's Miro Go Slide. He is in the Mercedes for Season 12. There's Envoy Extreme in his Audi. Obviously Jamie in the Nissan. And NGR Tim in that Nissan for this year. He was in the BMW last year, I believe. So, good stuff all around. Look at Slider Gas coming through Paddock Hill. We probably have missed a couple of people. But Fraser takes over provisional pole position and trying to do Formula Drift through Paddock Hill. And successfully doing so. Scooby G, he has now swapped from his loved Sierra Cosworth to an Audi this season. Wants to really reap the benefits of that four-wheel drive. Yeah, back in the pits. There's Jim, currently in 4th. Very tight grid here. 1 second cover, less than a second covers the top 11 cars here at the moment. And that's set to come down, I would say. It's have our onboard lap with Cam 123 Diz. Oh no, I'll just talk through ourselves. See, that was Paddock Hill. He comes up into Druids here, letting people past him as they're on quicker laps. He's now going to try and find a bit of a gap here as you come down to Graham Hill Bend. Down the Cooper straight then before you get to Surtees. See a much loved track here, Brands Hatch Indy. So through Surtees into Clearways and then straight into Clark Curve. Picks up the throttle. Let's see if we can have a quiet lap with Cam123 in the Mercedes, actually rear wheel drive. There we go, a lap with the Mercedes driver. What can he do across the line? Not a lot more. He's only half a second and he's 8th place at the moment. Really showing just how tight this league is right now. As that's Fraser off, probably doing more Formula Drift. Goes through Clark Curve. For another lap, another attempt. 1 second, covers the top 12 here at Brands Hatch Indy. Very tiny that from Fraser, and we have a new provisional pole position leader in Scooby G. By 0.3 of a second, so that's a lot of time Scooby's found. He's the first one into the 47s. Obviously with the Live Track 3.0. It's gonna get rubbered in. And he's gone back to the pits. There's the defending champion NGR Omega 1984. There's a long Cooper straight and up towards 30s. And into clearways he comes. Setting up for a lap, I would say. There's one of the more unlucky people of last year in his Nissan WRT Edo STM. He'll be looking for a better season this season. As a slide of gas, he's really trying to throw the car around there. Back end looking to step out there through Clark Curve. Not going to happen though. Up towards Paddock Hill. Through Druids and down towards Graham Hill Bend. That's Jamie F30 ahead of him, who is currently sat in 12th, 1.3 off the leader. And the number 55 machine. He'll be looking for a good return here to the Tours. Go across the line they come. Jamie up into 9th now, and slide gas into 6th ahead of Edu. So good stuff there. Fraser still running around in 2nd. There's Omega having a pit stop in 3rd. There is RS Jim 77. The number 1 machine. Jack Team 53 synopsis. Now this is going to be Jack's first season, with a wheel. As last season he started off with the controller and gradually phased. As he gets really sideways through Graham Hill, well held by the man in number 25. And again, the back end trying to step through 30s and into clearways. Just about holding it. And again, the back end stepping out through Clark Curve. That Nissan looking very loose at the moment. Not what he's going to look for in the race here. And Slider Gas has come out of nowhere and popped it into 2nd place in his Audi, and he just touches the grass. Well held through there. No, that's Fraser, I think. That's Omega. There's Fraser. We've lost Scooby G. Scooby G, I think, has disconnected, and he's got to be quick now. Goes Fraser, currently in pole position. There, WTRDJ is trying to join. There you go, Scooby G definitely disconnecting. He's going to have to get back in. Scooby G has rejoined. He's not going to have a lot of time though when he gets back into the session to qualify. Luckily, very short track. Let's have a look down at the back end. Oh, that's Tim in the wall. See Tim looking for a much better season here in the Nissan as Scooby G loads back in. Envoy Extreme in the number 45 Audi. Currently sounding 14th, 1.9 off the pace. There's Miro Go Slide in the number 17 Mercedes. Choosing the harder route, and that's someone going into the pits. That'll be Omega. Yeah, Omega having an issue out of Clark Curve by the seems of it. Then we have Royston, who is in the Audi this season. A lot of Audis. There's Whitford Zero. He's stuck with the rear-wheel drive theme. He was in a BMW last season. He's now changed to the Sierra. Be interesting to see what he can do in that car with 2 minutes and 25 left. Shockshaft is in the pits and intense with Cam123 Diz currently 9th. Whitford's moved up into 7th now with the Sierra Cozzy. Good work by him. I think that means he is the highest placed two-wheel drive driver. Who is that? Is that Royston maybe? No, it's not Royston. Who is that? A Shockshaft. I don't know who that is. Right. Jack is now up into P2 with a 48.2. It is 0.020 the gap now between the top two. 0.064 between the top three. A second covers the top 11. Top 12 now, and just over a second by 0.041 covers the top 13. And that is Jack, TM53 Synopsis, clipping the grass and going round. And he's going to have to wait for everyone to go past now. Let his tyres cool down a little bit, because as soon as the tyres go hot, they will become easy to slide. Let's have a look at Scooby G now. It's gone bored with him. Have a look at the cockpit cam as we come up through 30s. Into clearways. Gets the front end nicely tucked in. And on the way out, really nice through Clark Curve. Can he... Oh, WT Edu claims pole position now. Can Scooby get the better of that? No, he goes back into second. 0.081 out of reach at the moment from Edu. But the Spaniard... in the number 2 machine, looking good as he comes through to the line again. Doesn't improve. Buzzes the engine for good measure. It's not Jim in that car. I'm trying to work out who that is in there. There's NXTGEN, no practice, low down the order, but only 0.6 off, so it's not all bad news. 4 seconds left. Let's get the map up. Let's have a look, see who is available still to get a time. There is Omega going back to the pits. Jack, Team 53 Synopsis has come back to the pits. Here comes Slider Gas 28. Can he put in a phenomenal time to take away that pole position from Edu? Flash of the lights. Not good enough though. Stays in 6th. Here comes Jamie F430. Who's that? That is NXTGEN. Stays 11th. Here comes Jamie F430 down towards the line for his last qualifying lap. Puts it up into 7th, so a good return there for Jamie F430. Who's the next man on track? It's Royston, and he's going very, very slowly. I think that is everyone over. So, Edu takes the first pole position of the season. A phenomenal effort from the Spaniard after last year. Then you have Scooby G in second. Omega will start third for his title defence. Fraser will come fourth. Jack TM53 Synopsis in 5th. Slider Gas 28 in 6th, Jamie F30 is in 7th, RSGM 77 in 8th, Whitford 0 is 9th, Cam 123 Diz is 10th, Ginge is 11th, Shockshaft 12th, Royston 13th, Mirror Slide is 14th, Envoy Extreme will start 15th on the grid, and rounding out the runners is NGR Tim 78, who he's got quicker. I think he's not far off the pace anymore, but a good qualifying session. If you are watching, do comment on that qualifying session. That was very, very tight. I mean, if you were a second behind, 0.960 covers 13 cars on that grid, and 1.2 gets you up to 14th. Phenomenally tight grid here at Brands Hatch Indy. Should make for some brilliant racing. See, a Spaniard from a Brit with a Polish flag, I think that's. Then a Brit. Czech Republic is in 6th. Really outnumbered. So here we go. The Group A Tourers, Round 1, Season 12, for the first time. We are green for the first time here in the Group A Tourers, and that is not a good start for Edu. Omega and I think that might be Scooby will have a good run into Paddock Hill. A bit of a tap between Scooby and Edu as we come up to Druids for the first time. Omega leads. Oh, and that is Collisions behind. That is Envoy Extreme and Mirror Slide. Have had issues. Back to the pack though, and it is tight. Oh, and that is Whitford going round after tagging. Who is that that's gone round again? I think that's Ginge went round after a slight tap from Whitford 0 there. Back to the leaders. Edu still in 2nd. Scooby G 3rd. Fraser is in 4th. Jack is in 5th. Slider Gas 6th. Jamie is in 7th with RS Jim 77 right on his tail. Cam 123 Diz is behind RS Jim. Shockshaft is 10th, Royston 11th, Whitford trying to make a bit of recovery here. Tim is up to 13th, a good start for him as he runs wide and into the gravel now at Paddock Hill. Keep the throttle in, son, you've got 4-wheel drive. That'll give Ginge a place up into 13th. There goes Mirror Slide in 15th, and Envoy Extreme rounds out the runners at the moment as we're here on lap number 2, and Jack has company in the form of Slider Gas and Jamie right now for that top 5 position. This is going to be a foul, and that is Slider Gas round. He's going back across the track. Oh, how has he not collected anyone? Oh, and into the tyre, into the little barrier area of the pit lane. That's ruined his race, really. Down into 15th, Shockshaft has a penalty now. 2-second penalty for Shockshaft. Back at the front though, Omega now leads by 0.6 of a second now. But behind that, you've got Scooby G and Fraser. Fraser now ahead of Scooby G. For this second place. On board with Scooby G on the roof cam. And the gap to the lead is ever closing. Into Paddock Hill for the 4th time of 25. That is where's he gone? There he is, just in front. NGR Fraser has had an issue. Just got the tail out into Paddock Hill. We've seen him do it through qualifying, and it's done it to him in the race, and that's put him down into 11th. There is Edu. There is Omega. Down to the Bentley straight we come. Into Paddock Hill for the 5th time. Oh, and that is Scooby gone wide. He has a penalty anyway, and that allows Jack TM53 Synopsis to get up in front of him into that 3rd position through Druids. Behind him is Jamie F30. Fantastic little battle going on now. The lead is coming under threat. On board with Edu. That in front of you is our defending champion of Omega. These two cars quite evenly matched, both four-wheel drive, good power, good drive. Into paddock, here we come. Edu looking for a switchback, not quite going to get it, but he will get a good run off paddock hill. Up into Druids. Not quite going to do it this time though. There's Jack, still with Scooby on his tail, and Jamie F30 is being brought into this battle there in 5th at the moment. Back to the guys in front though. Invoy Extreme now has a penalty. Through clearways, good tight line that from Omega, making sure Edu can't make any use of it. Down the Bentley straight we go. Two cracking battlers on circuit right now, and I'm almost certain there's more to come. There's Cam 123 Diz, which I believe... Oh, Jamie now has a penalty. Cam 123 Diz, currently your top two-wheel drive driver. I think there should be a class for that. There's Shock Shaft, but behind... Oh, and that is Fraser again, and he clips the side of Royston, who gets away with it. Fraser not having it... Oh, and he spun it again. There goes Miro, goes Slide. There goes Slide Gas. And Royston, I suspect. Oh, sorry, that's Ginge. He's having a good battle anyway. Miro. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Slide Gas and Ginge having good battle into Druids there. Go through Graham Hill. But this man's not going to be happy so far with his current race. Seems very slow, actually. Almost like he's lost a bit of confidence in that car. Back at the front, and it is rampacked with action. Edu still on the back of Omega, and Jack is fighting for his life to keep that 3rd place right now from Scooby, who is a champion in this category. Both of these drivers champions in this category. Jack a 3-time champion. Down the Bentley straight. Edu looks down the inside of Paddock Hill. That's a phenomenal lunge up the inside. He's got it stopped, he's got it turned, and that is a brilliant move for the lead. Edu takes 1st position through Paddock Hill. He defends up into Druids though to get it done deal. Omega a little tap wide, and he's going to let Edu rejoin in front of him. Good sportsmanship there. Had to go into Druids, didn't quite pay off. Just tapped Edu a little bit wide. And here comes Jack, almost looking like he wants to pick up the pieces. We now have 6 cars looking at the leaders. And if we're not careful, Cam 123 Diz is not far behind. There's the number 1 of RS Jim. As that looks like Omega going down the inside this time of Edu. Edu tries to go around the outside. Omega will have the inside now for Druids as we come up to the 2nd corner for the 10th time. Edu will stick it around the outside. Can he keep it there? No, he can't. But Jack TM53 Synopsis is there. But back up, and Edu's lost 1st position as quick as he gained it. But here he comes. He's trying to get a switch back on Omega. Up through Surtees. They're going to go side by side. Through Surtees they go. Still side by side into clearways. And on the grass for Edu. In the gravel, and that will do for his hard work for that 1st position. Very unlucky, just clipped the grass with the outside wheels, but now we have 7 cars looking like they could win this race right now. As they enter Paddock Hill, Omega, the pressure has just been relentless on the defending champion. Oh, and that is Scooby G absolutely putting the car into Druids up the inside of Jack. Don't think. Oh, and that is Cam 123 Diz behind in the barriers. Going to try and rejoin. Where is he going to join back into though? There goes Whitford. And Royston lets him go. But Jack now down to fourth. Now he's spun at clearways. Didn't see whether he might have got a tap or something, but he's no longer in that battle. And here comes Shockshaft to come up his tail. So, the question is, what sort of time penalties do people have at the moment? Jamie has a 2-second penalty. Scooby has 1 second. Shockshaft with 3. So at the moment, Omega is very much safe there in his current first position here on lap number 12 as we enter the second half of the race. Down towards 30s he comes. Behind him though, he's got Jamie and Scooby. Now Jamie has to be at least 1 second ahead of Scooby at the moment to keep his position. And Scooby's got to be at least a second in front of Edu. So Edu right now could be staring at second place without even having to overtake them. I believe that might be Tim up ahead. Yes it is. There is Tim, currently in 16th and last, enjoying the race. Although if that's Jim, that's Omega. Who's that? That's Envoy. Oh, that's Envoy in stream. Oh, Tim's the lap down. So maybe a pit stop or something for Tim. Or a very big off. So we go back to the front. Omega still leads. At this time though, Scooby has got past Jamie, F430. And he'll be going after Omega. So Omega pipped into the post in season 11. So Envoy Extreme getting out the way, very good. As we go into Paddock Hill for the 14th time. Jamie looking all over the back of Scooby here to come up to Druids. And here comes Edu firing up the inside of Jamie. Coming out of Druids, Edu. Has he got the move done? Yes, he does. A fantastic move from Edu, the second one of the race. Really good stuff, both Omega and Edu. Oh, and a bit of a slide for Edu through 30s. Still all 16 cars running at the moment, which is fantastic news. There's Jack TM53 Synopsis currently in 6th. He's gapped himself to Shockshaft. Behind there is the battle for the two-wheel drives. Whitford and Cam. Oh, and that is Tim spun at Clark Curve. And Edu. Oh, there's carnage at Druids. I don't know what happened there, but that was carnage. There was at least 2 cars around. One of them Edu, one of them Jamie, and that also looks like Shockshaft went round. And there goes Cam again, out of Druids, into the barriers. Luckily, not as bad as last time, so we had to continue after that. Whitford still the leading two-wheel drive. In 8th place there. So Omega now leads by 2.9 seconds from Scooby G from RS Jim 77, who's been quietly moving up the order here. Not really got into any battle as this Jim, and we have lost our first competitor. I believe that is Tim. I believe Tim has retired from the race. Very unfortunate. Just obviously not getting on with the car and track here. Scooby G in second. RS Jim currently just about a second inside that zone right now is Jim. Jack has managed to weasel his way back up into 5th here in his Nissan. Edu behind after something happened at the hairpin of Druids. She's gone to lap number 17 of 25. Edu running a little bit wide. Back to Whitford. He's got Shockshaft ahead of him. Royston behind him. There's slider gas. Cam now down into 11th. Thought he always went wide there. There's Ginge in 12th, having a bit of a lonely race. He's done a 49.8, which is not bad in terms of lap times. There's Fraser, having a very bad race in the moment. Looks like he's got no confidence with the car anymore. Doesn't want to be pushing it at all. There's Miracle Slide, and Envoy Extreme currently rounds out the top 15 and 15 runners. Omega still needs his lead now, 4.1. This is a brilliant start to his title defence. A win on the board. Certainly a step forward to becoming back-to-back Group A champion. Scooby doesn't have as much time to play with though. He has to be a second ahead of Jim. Make that 2 seconds ahead of Jim to keep his position. At the moment, that's not going to happen. So here on lap 18, going round Clark Curve now to go on to lap number 19. There's Jamie FL30, sat in 4th right now. Now he's got to be 2 seconds ahead of Jack, and he isn't quite there. Edu now has a penalty in 6th place. He has a 2-second penalty. Shockshaft for 3. What does Envoy have? Let's have a quick glance. 1 second for Envoy. So, a lot of people with some penalties to be accrued at the end of the race. Jim, though, would rather do this on track, I think, than have to wait for penalties to come into effect. As with Jack, who is, I think, starting to close down. I think it's a bit quicker on this lap compared to Jamie. I might be wrong. Let's have a look at the times as they come across the line. Jamie does a 48.9 and a 48.8 there for Jack, so very, very slightly quicker. But enough to keep him within that 2 second window at the moment. Currently 1.3. Look, where else have we got some battles? There's Shockshaft, and there's Whitford going around him, up into Druids. And he does it around the outside. Can he keep it there though? Into Graham Hill. Oh, and Shockshaft gonna try and keep around the outside. He's still side by side. Whitford just about clears him as he comes up to Surtees. Great move from the Ford man. Cam now has a penalty in 11th. Oh, a bit of opposite lock there into there for Whitford, making sure that back end doesn't overtake the front. Very unfortunate if that happened right now, wouldn't it? And across the line, this is the battle for 7th. This is ridiculous. There's battles everywhere you go on this circuit. There really is. Apart from Slider Gas, who's behind this lot, so not far behind the battle. Cam's on his own. There's Ginge on his own. Fraser, not really having a great race. Milgo Slide looking like he's just letting it past some leaders. Omega in particular, the leader. There's Scooby, and there's Jamie still in 4th. Jim, still within that 2 second window right now. Very good gap management so far. 49.0 for Jim, compared to a 48.5 to Scooby, so Scooby still liking the car. Jamie behind. Jack is there to take up his honours when penalties come into effect here. As Edu, who's pretty much there to secure 6th place, which would be a good start really to the to his season. Top 6, he'd have liked more from the pole position he had. It's Whitford now in 7th in front of Shockshaft. Both of them still going at each other. Come up towards 30s and in to clearways. A bit wide that from Whitford as he now go through Clark Curve. That Audi starting to gain with the traction he had coming out of the corner. Up across the line we come. Into Paddock Hill for the 23rd time. Whitford starting to cement his place there in 7th now. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle halfway through Druids, having to get out of the throttle. Oh, and who's that behind? Is that Slide Gas? That is Slide Gas. 50 points for wiping out a sign. Congratulations. You are top of the commentator's bonus points giveaway. But here's Omega, the penultimate lap now. Goes through paddock. There's Scooby, there's Jim. So the battle not really coming together here between those two. Jim just looking like he's securing that spot. But these two are closing the gap between each other. The last lap, 0.3 taken out by Jack. And now Jamie will be feeling the pressure because he's got the penalty. What will he do? Will he bother trying to fight Jack? Or will he let him go? I'm going to say he's going to fight him and see if Jack can make a mistake here. Up through Surtees and up towards Clearways. Between these two, let's go on board with Jack. Not had much time to go on board with drivers in this race. On the roof cam, he's gone to the final lap of the race. Jack, Team 53 Synopsis, really trying to close down on Jamie. He wants to do this on track. He does not want to leave this to after the race. But it's too short a lap because we've got to go back to this man, the defending champion, the Season 11 champion. Has started his defense in a perfect way. NGR Omega 1984 comes home to win the first round of the Group A Tours here at Brands Hatch Indy. A great start to his defense. And into the wall for good measure. Scooby G will come home in second, but I believe RSGen, yes, RSGen will take second place away. Oh my word, what the hell is Jamie doing there? Jack actually ended up with third place there. Scooby in fourth. Some serious time penalties there then. Jamie for 35th. Edu comes home in 6th. Whitford 7th. Slidergas 8th with Royston 9th. Shockshaft 10th. Cam 23 Days comes home in 11th. Here comes Fraser for 12th. He's not going to be happy with this, but it's a start nonetheless. There's Ginge in 13th. Mirago Slide is 14th with Envoy Extreme coming home in 15th. Job done. So Omega wins from RS Jim. Jack Team 53 Synopsis nicks the podium after Scooby G picked up an extra 2 seconds worth of penalties for 4 seconds. Jamie FL30 comes home in 5th. Edu will come home 6th. Whitford 7th. Slidergas 8th. I will say Whitford top 2-wheel drive. Good start for that man. Slidergas is 8th. Royston 9th. Shockshaft 10th. Cam 123 Days is 11th. Fraser 12th. Ginge is 13th. Mirago Slide 14th. Envoy Extreme 15th. And NGR Tim retired on lap number 12. So, if you are watching, who is your driver of that race? Me personally, I think it has to be Jim. He had a very, very good race there, just slowly making his way up through the field. Didn't have as high qualifying as we'd have thought, but definitely a good race by him. And Omega, a fantastic start to his title defense here at the Next Gen Group A Tours. We wait, obviously those are the confirmed order. That is confirmed results. I say confirmed. These aren't the provisional results, barring any investigations to happen after the race. Usually there will be a group Monday Night Tours notebook at some point during the week where I would go back and review the various races for all 3 categories of car tonight, even though I am competing in one of them. There will be a review on this by me later on in the week, hopefully with a few comments from the drivers, and I might try and get a special guest along, you never know. But from the Group A Tours, that is it for the night. The round 2 is at Spa next week, so do join us for that. Next up is the Moderns in about 5-10 minutes time, so do join me on that very, very soon. That will be live from Brands Hatch Indy again. But for now, thank you for watching this Group A Taurus battle. It was a sensational effort from the drivers. And we shall see you all at Spa in 1 week's time.